Hello everybody and welcome along to the WERC and welcome more specifically to the Race of Champions, the pinnacle in the WERC racing calendar where we will see 8 of the very best PC drivers go up against each other in a 1v1 or Race of Champions style format. My name is Jack, I was on the SoupCooler, and joining me in the commentary box today is my TRF teammate Wesley Wickens. Wesley, you're very welcome. This event, so awesome, so unique, isn't it?
Oh, it's brilliant. I love just the action of it. You don't have very long, you can't make any mistakes, you have to be absolutely perfect for the 2 laps you've got.
Exactly, so now let's have a quick look at who we are going to be seeing going up against each other in these 4 different heats. So we have, first of all, Court versus Williams Billy Cherokee. That's going to be a tough one for Court. He's up against one of the very best on the dirt game right there. Then we have Vicente versus Alexandru Botas. That's again a very tough one for Vicente, I think. The third one's going to be an interesting one, I think, between Serene Logic and Veloce Primero. I think that's going to be very hardly fought. And, I mean, the last one, I mean, you kind of got to feel a little bit sorry for Nate Wilcox. He's going up against the reigning Dirt Esports World Champion, Juna Pankinen. Wes, you really got to put up a hell of a performance to beat Juna.
Yeah, that's not really the best of luck of the draw, really, is it? He's really got to put out his best foot to even have a chance of beating him.
Yeah, and of course, let's move on to where we are going to be racing today. This is, of course, we're going to be racing around the Hell Rallycross circuit in Norway. 2 laps as per the Race of Champions. We're going to have 2 different rounds. First with the Polo Supercar and the Cross Car. If there is a tiebreak, we will be using the Clio Super 1600 car. The driver on the outside line must take the Joker on the first lap, and the driver on the inside will take the Joker on the second lap. The Joker is very equal around Hell, so they should come out, if they're quick enough, side by side. So let's obviously get ready to go. But we've got 3 different cars, of course, Wesley. We've got a 4-wheel drive supercar, a rear-wheel drive cross car, and a front-wheel drive Clio Super 1600. It's going to be really hard to adapt.
You couldn't get more different, really. You literally gone from a supercar of 4-wheel drive to then one of the hardest cars, that's one of the lightest, and rear-wheel drive. It's a mental car in a space of 2 minutes. And then even if you don't win both of those races, you then have to go to a front-wheel drive car, which is completely different to the cross car. Yeah,
and especially that cross car is extremely hard to handle. It really wants to always swap ends because it's rear-wheel drive. 4-wheel drive supercar, I think most drivers are going to be very, very used to that. It's going to be trying to keep it as straight as possible. And the front-wheel drive, that's one of my favourite cars, honestly, because you can literally just throw the car in and keep your foot on the accelerator and the thing will grip. But Hell, as you can see, a very diverse circuit. You've got a hairpin turn 1, a hairpin turn 2, and a hairpin turn 3 with a gravel on the way downhill. Then you come up towards a gravel incline, you go up, and then you come straight down into the last corner, which is also uphill. So it's a really up and down circuit. The Joker will disappear off at turn 1. It goes uphill, and if you're in a 4-wheel drive supercar, you're going to be seeing guys absolutely 90 degrees into that Joker entry. But the cross cart's got to be as straight as you possibly can, and the Clio as well, you kind of have to be straight as well, and you got to be turning a lot earlier to get the Joker turn in absolutely spot on. So let's have a look at the quarter-final lineup for race number 1. It's Court, the South African, versus Williams Billy Cherokee in the Volkswagen Polo Supercar. Wesley, I think this one is going to be kind of going Billy Cherokee's way, going off the form we've seen of him.
Yeah, it's most likely the odds are on him, but at the same time, you can't always go with the odds on favourite. It's underdogs are always brilliant, just to hope for them. But yeah, it's most likely going to be Billy's. But I just love to look at the cars as well. I miss this.
Yeah, the awesome 4-wheel drive supercar Polo. So Williams to Billy Cherokee on the outside. Away we go then. Up towards turn number 1, you'll see Billy Cherokee disappear into the Joker lap as Court will take the standard lap. So Cherokee, again, a little bit on the handbrake, a little bit kind of later than most drivers. I've seen drivers, especially Juna, absolutely send that thing into the Joker lap. I don't know how they come out on top of that one, but you can see Court down at the bottom of the hill, and it's going to be, Court's really got to be focusing right now, because it's actually tougher to lead a race, isn't it, Wesley?
Yeah, because all the pressure's on you, really. The car behind can just follow you, and you can just look where you are and see what you're doing. You don't know where the car behind is and how fast they're doing. If they're messing up at all, you just have to absolutely go flat out and hope they're not at their best.
Well, here we are then. We're going to be watching for the merge now. Court in the Joker lap. Watch out for Billy Cherokee. He may be on the inside. They're neck and neck as they come out of the Joker, and Court's got ahead. Billy Cherokee tried to dive bomb on. They hit each other. Billy Cherokee is around. He may have tried a cheeky little dive bomb there. Court's on the way down the hill. This will be an upset if he takes a race 1 win. Not sure what Billy Cherokee was trying there. He tried a dummy to the inside, but it didn't really work out for him, did it, Wesley?
It was he tried, he absolutely sent it in, and then sadly Court was still there, and he just caught his front of Court's car, so it sent him round. He recovered pretty quick, but just unfortunate for him.
Well, that's a big upset immediately in race number 1. It's Court, the South African, taking the victory then in the 4-wheel drive Polo supercar. We'll be heading to round number 2 in the cross car, but there's your confirmation. Contact between the two of them. But Court did the job. He was ahead coming out of the Joker anyway. But anyway, here we go for race number 2 then. Court again alongside Will's Billy Cherokee in the cross car. These things are absolutely insane, aren't they, Wesley?
They're mental. To get the grips of these cars, to be quick in these cars, to keep them on the road is difficult alone. Not just being quick is just impossible, but keeping them on the road is difficult. And they've got 2 laps to try and be as quick as they can without spinning.
Yeah, which is a very, very difficult, as we found out in our PS4 race, we both did it.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Here we are, then away we go. Billy Cherokee on the outside once again towards the Joker lap. These things, I believe, are powered by a motorbike engine. So these are essentially a motorbike on 4 wheels. But you'll see now, you've got to keep them as straight as possible. You can see the steering input. The benefit of these cars is we can see directly into the driver's seat, and Billy Cherokee, of course, trying to keep it as straight as possible. These cars, they really don't like gravel, especially because you spun right here, didn't you, Wesley?
I spun off of this corner, yeah, I took too much curb.
Yeah, which is another thing. These cars really don't like the curbs either. I spun the Joker lap, so it kind of equaled out in the end. But with Billy Cherokee up towards the line, then we'll switch to Court and see how he's getting on. He's on his way into the Joker lap. Now let's watch for the merge. You'll see Billy Cherokee on the inside. Where is he? Court's going to be neck and neck with him. Actually, Billy Cherokee's got the job done very nicely there on the standard lap, and now Court's got to find a way through it. Of course, if Court wins this, that's a 2-0 victory over Billy Cherokee, and he'll go through to the semi-finals. But oh, they're almost making contact there as we run up towards the hill. I think it's going to go Billy Cherokee's way if he doesn't screw this one up in the last corner.
It looks like he's going to have it. It was very close, and again, 2 races in a row where you've seen the Joker merge being very close, so it's all down now to the tie-break race.
Yeah, of course it is. So there's the confirmation. Billy Cherokee ahead of Court, only 6/10 of a second in it in the end. And we're going to, of course, heading to the tiebreak, 1-1 between them. Whoever wins the next race will automatically go through in these awesome cars. Here we go then. The tiebreak, it's between Court and Billy Cherokee in the Super 1600 Clio. These cars are absolutely awesome, aren't they, Wesley?
Yeah, they are brilliant. The front-wheel drive, you just sort of throw them in, and they are very different to the other 2 cars they've just driven as well. So they have to adapt now completely from the rear-wheel drive car they've just gone and used to now the front-wheel drive Clio.
Well, this is going to be a really interesting one. These 1.6 litre front-wheel drive cars, absolutely high revving cars, and this time it's Court who's going to be the first one to the Joker. Away they go, then Billy Cherokee getting the jump on the start. And again, these cars are very hard to get off the line. They like to wheel spin. In goes Court, and he's got to get that Joker absolutely nailed. Billy Cherokee's got to get the standard lap nailed, because by the looks of things, you guys are very, very evenly matched. And we could see a big upset with Billy Cherokee getting knocked out in the very first round. Let's see if Court can do it. So through the gravel section, again, these cars are very hard to control on the gravel, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not. They do not like gravel. They would prefer just to be on tarmac. But then, you know, it's rallycross. It's a lot more fun when you have mixed conditions. Billy has definitely not had this entire thing his own way, and he's really got to nail this lap. And now we're definitely the Joker. Otherwise, Court's really going to be on him.
Well, it all comes down to this Joker merge then. Court arriving towards turn 1, Billy Cherokee into the Joker. This is going to be neck and neck. Court going through the first corner. Where is Billy Cherokee? We're looking for him on the inside. He is on the inside. Billy Cherokee up the inside. Court's going to hang it around the outside. They're side by side as they come down the hill. This is for the win and the place in the semi-final. Court is on the inside. He looks to have got the job done. He has. So Court is ahead of the Williams Esports driver, Billy Cherokee. Here they come towards the last 2 corners. Billy Cherokee looking for any kind of opportunity to get past the South African here through the left-hander, onto the brakes, into the right-hander, into the last corner. Court's holding on. Does he make any mistakes? No, he doesn't. Court wins the quarter-final. He is through to the semi-final. That's a big upset, isn't it, Wesley? Billy Cherokee knocked out in round 1.
He actually deserved it as well. Court absolutely had that. They were neck and neck in every single race they did. All 3 different cars, they were completely on it together within probably a second in every single race. But Court just took it. He had the inside line being the crucial part down the hill.
Yeah, and unbelievable. Court beating one of the biggest names in Dirt 4, Williams, Billy Cherokee. And as you can see there by the graphic, he is through to the semi-final. Now, we're going to move on to the race between Vicente and Alexandru Botos. And of course, whoever wins that quarter-final will go through to face Court in the semi-final. So, I think for this next race, I think I'm going to swing Alexandru Botos' way. But again, as we just saw, you can't rule the underdog out, can you?
Yeah, exactly. It was absolutely a prime example of not only how Race of Champions is brilliantly close, but how you really can't count out the underdog, because it can just happen for them. If they nail it, they can do it. So it's interesting to see if we can see 2 underdogs in a row, whether that will happen or not.
Yeah, of course, and just to point out as well, we have got about 3 big esports teams competing in this race. So we have, of course, Williams Esports, well, no longer competing because they've just been knocked out, Oscaro, and of course, Veloce. So here we go then. Quarter-final 2, it's Alexandru Botos with Vicente up against him here. I think Vicente is going to have a really tough time against Alexandru Botos. Very quick driver from Romania, and the Spaniard going up against a very, very quick driver indeed. Very, very quick rally driver, but yet to see what he can do in an RX car.
Well, this could be a new ground for him. He could just stake his claim here. If he can go through and then go against Court, that's going to be really a challenge. But firstly, he's got to beat the car to his left.
And he's got an absolutely incredible start off the line there. He absolutely minced Vicente off the line. And he is gone. Vicente into the Joker lap, and Alexandru carries on. But I have to say, that livery, absolutely beautiful with the Romanian colours on it.
That is perfect. It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely.
Yeah, wonderful job by Bottas to get that livery. Of course, they're all running their own custom liveries in Dirt 4, as you are able to do. So Bottas through the last corner. Let's see how far he is ahead, because that start was absolutely incredible. Let's see where Vicente is. He is just coming through the last corner over the jump. And let's see where Bottas is going to come out. He's in the Joker lap, and I think he's already out. He's miles out in front. He's absolutely destroyed Vicente in that first one. All he's got to do is keep it together for this next half a lap, and he will go and win the opening heat here in quarter-final number 2. Vicente, he's going to be absolutely kicking himself now, because that's a huge gap that he's let Bottas build off the line.
My question, off the line, do we reckon Bottas did a second gear start compared to Vicente doing a first gear?
Yeah, that's often one you see. So a second gear start, of course, it'll save you time shifting up from first gear. And of course, as we should mention, they are all the same setup. So it's not like Bottas has changed his gearing or anything, because he's not allowed to. So then, after that first race, let's go to quarter-final 2 and round number 2. Alexandru Bottas up against Vicente in the cross karts. I think Vicente's got a little bit of a mountain to climb to beat Bottas in this one, especially in the cross karts.
Yeah, it's an absolutely mental car to try and beat him in, but he's got to try and do it.
Of course he has, and that's the only way you're going to get through. So it's currently 1-0 to Alexandru Bottas. Vicente's got to win this one if he's going to stand a chance getting through to the semis. So Vicente on the outside, away they go. And Bottas again with a brilliant getaway off the line. Vicente heading towards the Joker lap, trying to come in. Oh, okay, he's hit him. That was an interesting one. Interesting Joker line from Vicente. Maybe didn't expect Bottas to be there, but I've never seen, unless you're in an open lobby, of course, somebody hit you on the way into the Joker.
That's very lucky for both of them to actually kind of get away with it without any massive problems there.
Yeah, Bottas on his way as if he just kind of held the slide, kept his foot in it, and away he went. Rear-wheel drive, of course, so you got to be careful putting too much throttle in these things. This thing will want to spin you around. Motorbike engine in the back of these, as we mentioned. And
it wants to go.
It really does want to go. So Vicente on the way over the line. I think Bottas is going to get this one really easily. Where is he? He's in the Joker at the moment. Vicente coming through the first corner, and Bottas is gone. He is gone. He is even through that first corner. You can't even see him. The dust being thrown up. He's miles out in front. That's a brilliant job for the Romanians. You can see him at the bottom of the hill. They're disappearing into the dust. Vicente coming through the right-hander. I think he's got a little... Oh, he's hit too much curve there. He's done exactly what you did, Wesley.
Oh, he's done a me.
He's done a you. Coming up the hill then, into the last corner. This is going to be victory for Alexandru Bottas. He goes through to the semi-final to face the South African Court. And Vicente is unfortunately knocked out. That's going to be the end of his day. Confirmation of result there. Bottas through against Vicente with the win in the crosscards, and he takes a 2-0 win over Vicente. I think that was pretty much an expected result. No disrespect to Vicente.
Yeah, it was, and the starts were the one bits that got him, really. The starts really won it for him there.
Yeah, he absolutely rocketed offline. There's your confirmation there as we look at the screen. It'll be Court versus Alexandru Bottas in semi-final number 1. Well, the next one is going to be an interesting one, especially for us, because it's our team boss up against Veloce Primero. Serene Logic versus Veloce Primero. This is going to be... These guys are very, very evenly matched, so I don't actually want to call who's going to win this. I can't really tell.
Let's stay unbiased. Let's not even say a word.
Let's not say a word. I think
let's save ourselves.
Yeah, let's definitely save ourselves. If we don't want to say anything, or otherwise we might lose our contract. But again... And of course, afterwards, we'll have quarterfinal number 4 with Juna Pankin up against Nate Wilcox. So let's get ready then. Quarterfinal number 3, around number 1. Veloce Primero up against Serene Logic, and that wonderful car that we drove on the PS4 side in that beautiful livery. Up against the Veloce driver, Veloce Primero, the young Norwegian. Of course, he's on the same team as Veloce is, the 9-time champion. So he's got a good mentor in his eye, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously a really nice guy and a fantastic driver. Always helpful to have on your side.
Yep, so here we go. It's Primero on the outside, and again, a very even start between the two of them. Serene Logic up against Primero. Primero into the Joker lap, and Serene Logic a tiny bit wide there, but he might get away with that one.
Very wide.
Very wide indeed. And also, his driving style, I've noticed as well, he tends to use very, very high gears, so he'll be using 4th or 5th gear. He won't go below 3rd gear around this circuit, and it seems to work for him because he won't get as much wheel spin. But Serene Logic then up toward the last 2 corners. We'll watch to see if Primero is doing the job after going into the Joker lap. He seemed to get away. Serene got that a little bit wrong there, a little bit wide. But we'll come over the start finish. We'll switch to Primero, and we'll see who's going to get the jump. So Primero, this is going to be quite close on the exit. I think Serene Logic into the Joker. He's on his way out. Primero on the way through turn 1, but no, Nigel's got the job done. Nicely done from the Dutchman there, and he's got a decent gap over Primero. I think if he doesn't make any mistakes in the last 3 corners, it's going to go to him.
Yeah, the gap's big enough, but now it's a case of Primero hoping for a mistake. The 2 corners left, there's not really much areas you can do, so it's all down to Logic just doesn't make a mistake now.
Yep, and he'll take a win in the 4-wheel drive supercars coming through the last corner. Yep, it's going to go to Nigel. Nigel crossing the line, and he will take the first heat in quarterfinal number 3 versus Veloce Primero. And decent race from the 2 of them there. Very evenly matched, not much between them, but Serene Logic got the job done on the standard and got the Joker absolutely spot on. Primero, I don't think he did anything wrong there. I think that was just sheer pace. But here we go, quarter-final 3. Round 2, Veloce Primero versus Serene Logic in the crosscarts. Again, not really sure who's going to take this one.
No, after seeing that, I think, because there's a slight gap between them 2 there, and I think the only possible follow-up we can say was maybe to him Primero taking it too wide in the Joker could be the only place where he would have lost a bit of time. Now, I don't think he's going to do the same tactic with these cars. Well, you definitely don't have to. You have to completely change your tactics in these cars, so it's absolutely completely different race now.
Yep, it is indeed, and here we go. Serene Logic on the outside. He'll be going to the Joker first, and Primero on the standard. And again, good start from Serene Logic up towards the Joker. Then he'll be heading in, as Primero will try to get the braking right for turn number 1. Getting it turned in, and now we'll see who's going to get the job done in the rear-wheel drive crosscarts. I've never really known why they have a spoiler on the rear, because there's absolutely nothing, does it?
It looks cooler.
It does look cool, but it does absolutely nothing. These things are still, they still want to slide and spin But here comes Primero up and over the hill. You can see Serene Logic in the background. Looks like Primero's actually got the gap. We'll see as he comes through the last corner. And you can see keeping the steering very straight, not using a lot of input. Up and over the jump. Let's see where Serene Logic is up and over the jump. This might be, again, it might be tight on the exit here. You can see Primero getting it turned in. I think Primero's got the job done, actually. He has indeed. Just ahead of Serene Logic. So the young Norwegian has done a very good job there in the rear-wheel drive cross karts. Not much between them again, so I think, Serene, as you said earlier, I think it's the Joker that's the key to this.
They have literally swapped positions from the last race. It's a carbon copy, but the other way around.
Yeah, and the gap is not much different either. They're exactly the same gap. Serene Logic trying very hard to try to catch up to the young Norwegian, but Primero has got the job done, and he's going to take race number 2 of quarterfinal 3. So we're going to have our second tiebreak round in the Clio Super 1600. So your confirmation results there: Primero getting the jump on Serene Logic by, again, only 7/10 of a second. So here we go, tiebreak, quarterfinal 3. Veloce Primero up against Serene Logic in the Clio Super 1600. And this, they've got to get the Joker lap right. If they both get it right, they're going to be neck and neck, and I can't wait to see that. Yeah,
if we take the last 2 races into any account, they should be side by side coming out of the Joker lap, which should, yeah, it's going to be a fight and a half. Is it tiebreaker? You've got to do it.
Yep. So here we go then. Second tiebreak round, quarterfinal number 3. Serene Logic on the outside, Primero on the inside in the white Clio. And away they go. Very even start, almost identical. Serene Logic will have to head to the Joker. Primero is going to be on the inside, taking the first corner very tight as they come into turn number 1. Serene Logic gets that absolutely spot on the Joker lap, getting it turned in early. And that's the key to that Joker in these front wheel drive cars. You've got to turn in very early to get any sort of grip.
Yeah, they just absolutely wheel spinning in the dirt and the dust and everything. They just no grip at all. You really just got to hope and you've got to turn in early because eventually it will grip up.
Yeah, that's the beauty of these things. You can once you find grip, you can just plant it and you point it and go. That's the beauty of these ones. Through the last corner comes Primero, Serene Logic following behind. I don't think we can call this one. It's very, very tight indeed. Serene Logic over the jump, and we'll switch to Primero and see how he's getting on in the Joker. He's turning in right now. Here comes the young Norwegian up against the experienced Dutchman. Where is Serene Logic? He's on the inside line, is he? He is, but Primero has got the jump on him only just so. Nobody made any mistakes there. They're neck and neck as they come down towards the gravel right-hander. Serene Logic on the outside line trying to switch back to the inside, tries to find some room. Can't do. A little bit of contact made there. He drops back. I think this is going to go Primero's way if they don't make any mistakes through the last couple of corners here. Primero getting into the left-hander, into the right-hander. He'll turn in. Serene Logic trying everything he can to get up to him, but it's going to go Primero's way. 2-1 victory, and he goes through to semi-final number 2. Great fight between those two, and the best man in the end won.
Yeah, great fight, and he also was 1-0 down coming into that as well. He brought it back for 2 wins in a row, and that's going to annoy Logic a little bit. He had the upper hand until the last 2.
Yeah, so it looked like it was going his way, but it just came. They were absolutely identical in pace. So very nice job from Veloce Primero. He goes through to semi-final number 2. And next up, we're going to have one hell of a fight. We're going to have Oskaro Juna Pankinen up against Nate Wilcox, Nate Dogg, as we know him as. But I know we shouldn't pick favourites, but it's going to be very hard for Nate to beat the world champion, I think.
Yeah, when you've got that title behind you, it sort of helps everyone direct who to pick. Yeah, he's the favourite, no doubt.
But as we've just seen in race number 1, you can't count out the underdogs, but Nate's got to absolutely pull one hell of a drive to beat Juna Pankinen. So let's get ready then for the final quarter-final. Round number 1, Nate driving the TRF Volkswagen Polo up against the reigning Dirt Esports World Champion Oskaro Juna P, or Juna Pankinen as we all refer to him as, driving with the Finnish colours on his car. And if you want to see some spectacular driving, this is the man to watch.
Yeah, he's got it all nailed. He knows every single car. He's brilliant at every single one of them. So this is going to be one hell of a fight for Nate to try and get this.
So away they go then. Nate on the outside line. He'll go to the Joker. Juna will take to the standard lap. So Nate going into the joker lap gets that very nicely turned in, absolutely, as if the corner wasn't there, using a little bit of handbrake to get that car turned in. Oh, he's got that very wrong on the way to the left-hander. That's going to cost him some time. Went a little bit wide there. Very easy to do because the corner wants to spit you out wide because of the gravel on the way in.
Yeah, it's a nasty corner. If you get it wrong, you get it visually wrong. And if you get it right, you can nail it. But it's hell for you. You gotta love it a little bit.
Yeah, Nate looks like he's struggling. He's came down the hill there. Juna up ahead. He's going to be disappearing into the joker lap. Let's go on board with Juna as he absolutely sends it sideways into the joker lap. Absolutely perfect from the Dirt World Champion. That is why he is a champion, driving like that. Absolutely sideways. Nate actually is not that far off the back of him, so he did a decent job there. But Juna is just sending that car absolutely sideways through these corners. I don't know how he's holding on to this car, but this is going to be a race 1 victory for Juna, I think. Absolutely sending it sideways. Spectacular driving, and he's going to take a race 1 victory here in the WERC Race of Champions. That joker lap was absolutely insane.
He's absolutely nailed it. It's the control he has. He just sends it and then he just holds it brilliantly. Like it's nothing. It's insane.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. So here we go for round number 2. It's Nate Wilcox versus Juna Pankin in the cross karts. Now Juna, he's used to sending things sideways, but these things really don't like that, so he's got to adapt his driving style even more.
You're about to see a completely different race now. We're not going to see any sideways compared to just them. We saw absolutely loads of it.
So Nate's got to win this one if he wants to get through to the semi-final, but he's got to beat the world champion in the process. He's going to be on the outside line, Juna on the inside line. Away they go, then Nate away from the line and up towards the joker lap. Juna got the jump on the start there, but it doesn't really matter too much. So into the joker lap he goes, going to get it turned in. Nicely done from Nate. Again, keeping it very straight on the way down the hill into the left-hander. Be careful not to get any sort of sideways. Juna up ahead, you can just see him trying not to go sideways as much as he wants to do because he is Finnish. Oh, Nate's got it a little bit wrong. Almost did a U again. We've seen that 3 times now. So it's not just your mistake. Lots of people are making it because of the nature of the car, of course. Through the last corner then, Nate trying to get as straight as possible. Looks like he's kind of struggling for traction in that thing. Here we go to Juna then. How's he getting on? He's already in the joker. He's already on his way out. He's absolutely smashed it.
Yeah, he's got this pretty controlled. He's going to be already looking forward to the semi-finals. Yeah. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, really. Here he comes to the corner where everybody seems to make it. Does he touch the curb? No, he doesn't. He got that absolutely beautiful. So here he comes up the hill into the left-hander, on the way down the hill into the right, and Juna stamps his authority. He goes through to the semi-final on a 2-0 victory over Nate Wilcox. Nate tried his best, but he's up against the best in the business right there, Juna Pankin. So confirmation of results there with Juna taking the victory over Nate. So your semi-finals are set. That is the quarter-finals over. We'll have 2 semi-finals and of course the final. So let's have a look at semi-final 2. It's going to be Veloce Primero up against Juna Pankin. That's going to be a very interesting fight with Veloce versus Oscaro, 2 big names in the esports world up against each other. But interesting quarter-finals. Looking forward to the semis now. Yeah, the semis are there. You can't really look at it and pick a winner, can you, actually? It's going to be very close between both of those races.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely interesting. Of course, we'll go back, of course, and say that Court will be going against Alexandra Bottles, as you can see on your screens, and Veloce Primero up against Juna Pankin. One driver from those races will go through, and it'll be a 1v1 to see who will be the WERC 2018 PC champion, or as we like to say, the champion of champions on PC. So, we'll hope you join us in a little while for the semi-finals. Thank you so much for watching the quarterfinals, and stay tuned for the semi-finals and finals coming shortly on WERC.